Today's stories include Ubisoft cancels a post-Civil War Assassin's Creed, Heart Machine is ending work on Hyper Lightbreaker, and our predictions for Fallout Day. Well, all this and more because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Thursday, October 9th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing, Adeoye Jr. Joining me is the LaCroix Poppy, Tim Gettys.
Oh, your boy's going through a bless.
I see you have the hat today.
Yeah, everything is bad.
Oh, no.
This is not a haircut day. This is my life is ruined day.
No.
A couple days ago, my water heater started acting up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. You know,
Yeah.
I'm building nurseries. I'm moving a lot of furniture in my house. My garage is a disaster. So there's so much shit around the water heater, of course. So then I need to move it all just so the plumber can come. The plumber's like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, that's not what I want.
It's not your job is to know.
So there's a lot going on. But the worst thing is, as I'm moving all the stuff to make room for the plumber, I get dust in my eye. And now my eye is just killing me, man.
Oh, no.
I think I need to go back to the Tim Cyclops days.
Oh, no.
You know, it sucks. It's like, it's one of those things where like I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just constantly.
Is it something that like you need to wash your eye out, or
I've been washing? I use the drops. Like
Oh,
I've been through this
no.
before. I'm pretty sure I just need to ride it out at this point. But yeah, it's I was supposed to host today, but I'm like, I don't want to read that much. So I appreciate
fair.
you taking the spot. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on. We're gonna listen. At least we have a day full of jolly good old news to talk about to lift your
great
spirits.
stuff. Just great
We're gonna
stuff
lift
all
your
around.
spirits today,
man.
Tim. Because remember, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every week, they run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be a part of the show, some of your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. Some housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business, all about live talk shows. So today, after KFGD, you're going to get Gamescast, which is our Battlefield 6 review. Mike has played it. He's ready to talk about it. And then after Gamescast is Tron Ares in review.
It sure is. I can't wait for this. I don't know if you've seen, Bless. It's impossible for you have not to at least seen kind of what's happening.
I've only
Nick
seen...
has been obsessing.
over Andy's thoughts about this movie.
Well, but
Okay.
more so over the costumes that he's been working on. So everybody strap in. Nick's been working on an art project.
Yes, I've seen this.
For our Tron Ares in review. But yes, what you're alluding to there, it is me, it is Nick, it is Andy.
Yeah.
The three of us saw this movie together. One of us thinks it is absolutely awful.
Yeah.
One of us surprisingly likes it.
Yes.
Andy Cortez stood up and left right as the credits started.
Oh, okay.
Not in a protest or anything. Andy
Yeah.
tends to do that. So we don't know where Andy falls on this. And Andy refuses to tell Nick or I whose side he is on. So everyone, you're going to have to tune in. Is Tron Ares good? I don't know.
Who can tell?
I don't know.
Who can tell?
Stay tuned to find out.
I've seen a little bit of hubbub of this movie online.
Yeah.
Only like one review, but it's a reviewer I really trust. And when I tell you, she tore this movie a new one in a way that made me like upset for her. That she had it's Jay Stoops. I don't know if you're familiar with Jay Stoops on TikTok.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
I have not seen her Tron review.
Oh, I mean, wait until you review it so she doesn't call her your thing.
Okay.
But when you watch it, you're gonna be like, damn, this changed you in a way for the worse.
Yeah.
You are like it seems like you went through something while watching this movie. Yeah.
Okay, I definitely need to check that out later because the thing is, guys, what do you think about me? Am I team
I can guess
good?
how you feel about this movie.
Am I team bad? I don't know what you just says about me, Bless.
I know that you like Speed Racer, and I also like Speed Racer. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not going to say anything more.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not going to say anything more.
I know you want to. Then the stream after that is Absolum. Absolum? I feel like Absolum. The more we say the name of this game, the less I know how to say the name of this game. Absolum. It's the cool looking beat 'em up roguelike.
It's very
game.
cool.
It looks fucking phenomenal. I can't wait to play it because I'm going to be playing it with Andy on the stream. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Gregway is the solution to indie game guilt. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Karl Jacobs, OmegaBuster, and Delaney, the Somm twining. Today we're brought to you by Factor, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 5 stories today.
Baker's dozen!
Starting with our number 1. An Assassin's Creed Civil War game was canceled because of Yasuke reaction and U.S. politics. This is Paul Tassi at Forbes. The Assassin's Creed series recently produced a rather great installment with Assassin's Creed Shadows this year, but it turns out another concept was in the works. GameFile's exceptionally reliable Stephen Totillo conducted interviews with 5 current and former Ubisoft employees about a game that was canceled in July 2025. It would have been an Assassin's Creed game set in the Civil War and subsequent Reconstruction period. You would play as a formerly enslaved black man who heads back south to fight enemies, including the Ku Klux Klan. Sounds awesome. The problem? Ubisoft watched both the reaction to a character in Shadows and what was going on with the US more generally and canceled the project. The lead up to the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows was overwhelmed by a culture war controversy that the game was using legendary, historical black samurai Yasuke. That sparked both endless debates about whether he was really a samurai in history and general disdain for the idea that Assassin's Creed finally had a game set in Japan, but was using a black man instead of a Japanese male lead. I'll put a pin in that and say, man, if only there was another lead in that game that was Japanese. I get back into the story. Past that, Ubisoft reportedly also looked at what was happening in the US and decided not to risk it. Quote, too political in a country too unstable to make it short. One source told Totillo. Tim Geddes, what's your reaction to this?
I mean, it's just crazy that Ubisoft used to be a ubiquitous software company that would make great games, great experiences, very not good movies. But hey, we're here for the vibes. And now they just seem to be a company that just makes more rakes to step on.
Yeah.
Even the rakes that we don't hear about until years later. But we're here and it's like, man, what coward shit. What sad state of affairs we're in now that like any of this is even a conversation that they are having. And so much so that this ended up not happening. Projects come and go. Ideas are just concepts until a team decides to put the money behind it and execute on it.
Yeah.
But to be going down a path towards something like this and then take such a dramatic turn and be like, no, we can't do this because we're scared. That's some bitch shit.
Yeah, shout out to Stephen Totillo for excellent reporting. You know, I highly recommend people support his work over at GameFile. And I think to your point, right, of like projects get canceled all the time, especially internally, and we don't hear about them. You know, I think the fact that Stephen in his reporting leans so heavily on, no, this was out of assessing U.S. politics, assessing the state of the world, assessing the reaction to Yasuke and Assassin's Creed Shadows, and them internally being like, no, let's not do this, right? And him sitting down with 5 current/former employees of Ubisoft, it seems pretty rock solid as far as, no, this was the reasoning. Like, it wasn't financials, it wasn't like it wasn't like the game wasn't coming together or whatever other millions of reasons why video games don't end up coming out or don't end up getting announced. It seems like, yes, this is the reason. And to that, I say, fuck you, Ubisoft. Like, I can't stress enough how when I read stories like this, or when I read stories, and we've gotten this a lot in the last year and a half, last 2 years, right, of, you know, Target sunsetting their DEI initiatives, right? Company X being like, no, we're not going to either do DEI initiatives or we're going to cancel this thing that was supportive of, progressive or inclusive ideas because we want to appease to a certain section of the audience. And I think when you do that, when you go, hey, we're not going to move forward with this big thing because we want to appease to racists, my reaction is, oh, so you're racist, right? Like, I don't think there's any if and buts about it as far as, hey, if you are cowering, if you're being a coward, if you're if you're stepping down from inclusive ideas or whatever your big idea might be because of fear from racists, you're fucking as bad, if not worse, than the racists.
And, you know, even taking that one small step further, but the concept of like it being inclusive or not, we're literally talking here about protagonist, antagonist, a black man the KKK.
Yeah.
There's no question. And if you're questioning that, you're racist. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no wiggle room. There's simply no wiggle room here. It's like we were talking about something that like you don't get an opinion. This isn't an opinion, right?
You're also talking about history, right? Like you're talking about like
exactly.
for as many people that came at Assassin's Creed Shadows because of the historical inaccuracy and all that bullshit. Like, all right, cool. You're making a video game that's set, post Civil War during Reconstruction about a black man who is going after is killing members of the KKK. Like, you cannot, the way that people would strawman the Yasuke stuff, you can't really do that with this.
Exactly. Totally. And that's the thing. It's like, all right, cool. So you only want to be historically accurate in your vision of what historically accurate means when it's convenient to you. And when it serves your narrative of like what you're looking for. And again, that's the fact that this is a story that we are talking about in the context of the controversy. I don't even want to use that word. Discourse of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, it's sad for sure. It's also just like not surprising at all. And for the state of where we are in the world, but also just for the state of where Ubisoft's at, where it's like, I don't have faith in them making good decisions. And it sucks because we know so many great people that work there that care so much. Clearly, people wanted to tell the story there. Yeah. Right? It's like, it just sucks that at the end of the day, the voice of the loud racist wins out.
Yeah. I want to bring in some super chats into the conversation. Kebab says the franchise about fighting against the man and had us fight the Pope as the final boss is too chicken shit to get too political. Motor World Hype writes in and says, do other countries look at the US and think, well, the Nazis won, so we should pander to them? What are we doing here? Why on earth would they think Americans would be against fighting the Klan? Ty Wilkins says, I'll say it. What a pussy move. Not surprising given the character. He's the P word. Honestly, I was like, oh no, I don't know if I've said the P word on the show. I don't know if I can read that. Not surprising given the cowardly company, but still. Raphael says, players can kill KKK members in Red Dead Redemption. Players can kill Nazis in Wolfenstein. But an Assassin's Creed set post-Civil War is a bridge too far, I guess. And to all that, I say, pay attention to the world that we're in right now. Right? Pay attention to the political times that we're in. Pay attention to what discourse was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, and what discourse and what people are pulling the levers, what levers they're willing to pull today. Because I think that's a very good thing. That's a very interesting observation to make as far as players can kill KKK members in Red Dead Redemption in 2018, right? Players can kill Nazis in Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein 2 came out in 2017. And you're talking about an Assassin's Creed set during the Civil War being too much. Interesting that it feels like we're regressing. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
God.
We're regressing and the people in charge are like, hey, we need to regress because otherwise the people that we care about are going to be mad at us. Yeah. Who are those people? And what are their ideologies?
1,000%. Brian B. Brightson says, I had Assassin's Creed Shadows in my backlog. Not anymore. Fuck Ubisoft. Ronald Belfin says, I don't think they had the talent in the room to culturally pull it off, which I think is a separate conversation that I'm willing to have, right? As far as would the game have come out and actually be good? I don't think that matters.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, for the sake of the conversation here, it's like, like you're right. It is difficult. But that's the thing is it's difficult.
Yeah,
it's a difficult thing that you need to handle with nuance, and that is hard to do in a video game, specifically in a video game series that at the end of the day is made for fun and alternate history, kind of playing with just fun action stuff. Like to have a nuanced take on things is a tall ask for sure, and the more important subject matter we're talking about, the more nuance you need to have, and the more like you need to get it right. You know, you can't just do something. You can't just cover it. It's like the opposite of conversation what we're having of like, wow, they were doing that back then. I feel like now things need to be handled better than ever, right? So yeah, that is an interesting point to bring up because like chances of them handling it great aren't high.
Yeah,
but their unwillingness to try is not good.
And I have two thoughts on it, right? I think to some extent I would ask, how nuanced do we have to be when the premise is black man kills KKK? Like for me, it's kind of like writes itself a little bit. And I understand, right? I think you have to have the right people in the writer's room because you can fuck aspects of that up. And like, if you fuck aspects of that up, yeah, it's going to be embarrassing. But you put the right people in the writer's room, you can figure all that shit out. I think on the other hand, I look at Assassin's Creed and I go, damn, how the mighty have fallen as far as what my view of Assassin's Creed, I think, was early on as far as the quote unquote historical accuracy, right? Historical accuracy as far as how well realized their worlds are, how well they capture like architecture and places in time. You know, when I played Assassin's Creed 1 while I was in college and during my first semester of college, and I was taking an art history class. And in that art history class, we were going over like structures in Damascus. We're going over like all these, you know, historical art pieces that you should know if you want to be an art major, which I kind of was my first semester, and then I changed because I wasn't good at making art. But I was like, I'm doing communication, fuck this. But while I was in art history class, I happened to have played Assassin's Creed at the same time, and I saw so many things that I learned about in class in the game and went, wow, this is really fucking cool. Like the developers had took their time to really fully realize what this time and what this part of the world like really means, right? Like the historical significance of the art, of the buildings, of the architecture, of all that shit. They really, really captured that stuff. And, you know, you fast forward to even Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey and how they had the modes that were, I forget what they're called, but like essentially the educational modes, where you could have classrooms sit in and go through these different places and learn about this shit. And Assassin's Creed, I think, is a landmark franchise for really showing what video games can do in that realm. So to be here, to be in, you know, post critical race theory discourse, to be post, you know, or currently Trump administration, all this shit, right? And for that same company to look at the franchise that's done so well with this historical shit and go, nah, we're too scared.
Yeah.
We're too scared to have black men kill the KKK in our video game. The least offensive thing that you can do. Yeah. We're too scared to do that.
No, absolutely insane and not appropriate whatsoever. And to your point, everything you just said, it's like the majority of the people that worked on those things are still there.
Yeah.
Those people still care. Those people still want to put that love in. It's not them making these decisions.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Let me take one more glance at Super Chats. Zilla11 says, birthday tax, been a fan since Beyond. Love you guys and keep up the fantastic work. Thank you so much, Zilla11. Ty Wilkins says, I'll take making Blessings say the P word as a win for the day. I love the show and chat. You're all the best. Thank you, Ty. I don't get to see this. I don't get to say the P word that often. In fact, I don't know the last time I said the P word. I don't know if I've ever said the P word.
I will say, I'm going to say that.
I'll say it. Say the P word.
What I was going to say, and fuck it, I'll say it now. I'm not a P word enthusiast.
You know, I don't think I am either.
Yeah.
I don't. I use the medical terms. I don't know. Let's see here. Zeke Speak says, conceding to racist is complying to racist. Complying to racist is, guess what? Supporting racist. Congrats, UB support racism now. Ronald Belfin says, I don't think they had the talent in the room to culturally pull it off. I guess that was the last one. We already did that one. Yeah. And I guess to close this one, right? Like, to the talent in the room thing, I do think that's a bit unfair. Because I don't think it's the talent. I don't think it's the people that are working on the game that are the problem. I think oftentimes it's the decision of the people that are at the top, right? Whether it be, oh, we're not going to give you enough time to do this thing. We're not going to give you enough like budget and like, you know, production support to really make these things the level of quality and polish the way they need to be, right? Like, I think it's rarely for these games the fact that like, oh, people just don't have the stuff in the room. Oftentimes you have really, really, really talented developers working at these places. So I don't want to say they don't have the talent in the room, but I just don't think they have the infrastructure. I think that's really the more worrisome.
They don't have the support. They explicitly don't have the support.
Yep. Tim, let's move on to story number 2. More sad news.
God damn.
Heart Machine is making layoffs and ending development on Hyper Light Breaker. This is Chris Kerr at Game Developer. Indie studio Heart Machine is making layoffs and ending development on early access title Hyper Light Breaker. A studio spokesperson confirmed the news in a new statement to a Game Developer, but didn't specify how many people are being made redundant. The news comes less than a year after Hyper Light Breaker launched into early access on January 14th, 2025. The open world online roguelite currently has a mixed rating on Steam from over 2,500 user reviews. Heart Machine previously laid off a portion of its workforce in November 2024, but said the strong and timely launch of Hyper Light Breaker might rekindle opportunities for those impacted. This time around, the company said it was forced to cut jobs due to broader forces beyond our control. Quote, "As we wrap up our work on Hyper Light Breaker, we've had to make the difficult decision to part ways with a number of talented team members. This was not our ideal path, but rather the only one available given the circumstances," reads a statement. While this path will include a conclusion on the project, it reflects broader forces beyond our control, including shifts in funding, corporate consolidation, and the uncertain environment many small studios like us are navigating today. We still have something coming in January. We plan to deliver something meaningful and as polished and complete as we can given our current circumstances. We're doing our best to refine what we can, complete key systems, and have the game culminate in a satisfying punctuation point, said a studio spokesperson. Tim, we went from AAA bad news to indie bad news.
Yeah, man. And this is the type of bad news that you just can't reconcile. Like in a year that we've seen the most follow-ups to beloved indies come out and see major success, Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, where, you know, the Hollower, the follow-up to Shovel Knight from the studio is delayed, but all signs still point to it coming this year. And even beyond that, the delay very much sounds like a strategic, we don't want to get stepped on decision. So I imagine we're going to get that game within the next 3-4 months, right? Yeah. And it all sounds good. It sounds like the teams are in control. Hyper Light Breaker, while not quite necessarily on the level of those games, it is an example of a beloved indie game that had critical success and sales success to an extent.
Yeah.
Drifter,
right?
Drifter,
yeah.
yes. Where now the follow-up is anticipated and they have that audience. And I hate, like, this is such a out of left field thing. Waking up to see this news today was like, of course, first thoughts was Andy.
Yeah,
Like,
you think about Andy, I'm like, damn. Dude.
Yeah. And then like looking at the team, it's like this sucks. Like this is a very talented team. Like they do so much awesome shit. And it seems like their stuff was going well. Right?
Yeah.
That's scary when it seems like it's going well and then it's not. And this game is never going to see the light of day the way that they wanted it to, or that we all expected it to.
Yeah. Yeah, this is obviously very, very sad news. Our hearts go out to the developers who lose their jobs. And yeah, it sucks for a team that worked so hard for Hyper Light Breaker to then, almost a year later, have to be like, all right, we're sunsetting this thing. I have, don't turn on the speculation station. I have speculation around, though, like, how we get here, you know, because, like, you talk about Hyper Light Drifter and that being something that I would look at as an indie classic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's an indie classic right there. That came out at a time that indies were growing, they were the newly hot thing, and you have a game that comes out and really excels at being this Zelda-like mysterious game, like a really cool art style where you have to kind of like discover things and figure things out, right? And that, I think at the time, felt really cool and really novel and really quality. And I think a lot of devs of that era that put out these classics, I think it's so tough to follow up. It is so tough to follow up because then for their next game, we're talking about Solar Ash, which was nothing like Hyper Light Drifter. As far as I understand, I only played a few hours of Hyper Light Drifter. I played all of Solar Ash, and Solar Ash, in my book, was fine. It was like fine to good. I like the ideas there. I like the fact that it is this momentum based. I'm skating around. I'm taking out these big bosses. I'm doing this stuff. But like, it never really felt to me like oh man, this is what it felt like playing Hyper Light Drifter, right? Like this is hitting that level for me. Like, I never got that from that game. And so now we jump forward to Hyper Light Breaker, which is harkening back to Drifter, but it's a different type of game, different genre. It's 3D, it's a roguelite. And I was having a conversation with a friend that works in game development, and he was talking about how a lot of studios are either shifting existing IP that they own into different genres, or taking like a single player thing, making it multiplayer. And he asked the question of, he said an IP that I'm not going to repeat, but he was like, are the people that like the single player version of this going to be the same audience that wants to play and enjoy a multiplayer version? right? And it was essentially the Ship of Theseus question of how much do you change a game before you just don't have that audience anymore, and it makes it pointless to be using that same IP. And I'm not checked in with the Drifter audience. I'm sure if Andy was here, I would have him come in and be like, yo, let's have a conversation about this, because I do wonder, is there a Hyperlight Drifter core audience that sees Breaker and goes, hell
Not
yeah,
for me.
we're back, like I'm back in? Or do they go, oh, that looks cool, but that's not what I really enjoyed from Drifter, you know what I mean? Their next game, Possessors, got a release date, and that's coming out soon, so I wonder if that's going to be the thing that truly harkens back to that. But I think at the end of the day, it is just tough to follow up on something that was a classic, and you want to do something new, but you also want to maintain the IP, but you also want to like make sure financially you're good. For an indie studio, it's such a weird thing to figure out, and it's such a tall task.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, this is just such a bummer because, again, so much talent there, and everything you just said, like you just named no direct follow-up sequel, right? All either new IP or follow-up IP, but different style, different genre, different idea. And it's like, damn, man, like that's the type of stuff that we talk about wanting to support so much all the time.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So.
And even on the flip side, you know, I don't know where Drinkbox is at as far as their, like, you know, I guess we got the new game announced for Drinkbox that looks fucking incredible. But
which one was that? I'm blanking on it.
It was the game that kind of looks like it's a Hades type game. Chad, remind me of the name of it, because it looks really cool. But Drinkbox, they put out Guacamelee, which is another one I would
Blighted?
put. Blighted,
Blighted.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. I remember.
Blighted looks fucking sick.
Metroidvania action RPG set in a psychedelic Western nightmare.
Come on.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, they put out Guacamelee, which was this classic fucking indie game that I'll put in the same conversation with Hyperlight Drifter. They then did put out Guacamelee 2, but I feel like I didn't hear people talk as much about Guacamelee 2. So I say that to say maybe there's just no right answer here.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you just have to get lucky.
Yeah.
Which is the hardest thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Tim, we got a few more news stories to talk about, but before we do, I want to tell you about patreon.com/kindafunny and youtube.com/kindafunnygames, where you can go and get the Kinda Funny membership, which allows you to get shows ad-free. Speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Factor. Fall always feels like there's just so much going on, so much stuff to do, shorter days, busier routines, back to school. It's all just a lot. That's why so many of us here at Kinda Funny love Factor. Their chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals make it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious, no matter how hectic the season might get. On many occasions, Factor has completely saved both Greg and Jen when they needed it most. Choose from a wider selection of weekly meals, including premium seafood choices. We're talking salmon, we're talking shrimp at no extra cost. Eat smart at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off and use code kindafunny50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code kindafunny50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
And we're back. And I have a super chat from Nitro39 who says, congrats to Bless for winning the pizza bet against him, because according to Alenia, Helldivers sold more on Xbox than Gears on PlayStation.
Oh, shit.
I forgot about this pizza bet.
I remember, but I don't remember the specific time frame we gave on it. I'll take the L on this.
We need a tracker, because I feel like I
But I don't know why we're trusting Alenia, a multi-course tasting menu experience in one of the main dining rooms.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Chicago.
who is Alenia? Because, yeah, the same thing came up for me, which was the restaurant. Alenia, there's Alenia Invest, which is an investing app for beginners, Gen Z, and women. I need more facts here.
I need the facts. I believe
the
you.
facts.
I trust you. But do I trust your source?
And also, can somebody help me tally the pizza bets? Because I feel like I already owed Tim pizza. So are we at a net zero? Or did I owe somebody else a pizza? I forget. I
was having dinner with G last night, and she was telling me that at work that they made a donut bet about something, and I was like, I loved it. I was like, that's great. I was like, literally, that's all Kinda Funny does, is we just do pizza bets. I was like, we do it so much that we literally have like a pizza bet, like animation and song and stuff. And she's like, what's the song? And I was like, oh, it's the pizza song. And she's like, what do you mean the pizza song? And I was like, look, what I'm about to say sounds stupid, but don't worry about the details. It's the song they used in Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was like, but don't worry about that. It's just some royalty-free stock, like, pizza thing. If you were like, what's the pizza song? And she's like, sing it. And I was like, and she's like, what are you talking
What
about?
Italian melody are you making right now?
It must be something iconic that's like,
I always disassociated with Spider-Man 2, but you're right that like
this is not from Spider-Man 2 on
Is it not?
PlayStation 2. No, that's a real song.
that existed before Spider-Man
Yes.
2 on PS2. You're
Correct?
telling me
Chats? Like, I can't be wrong about this. This sound like that's like a classical song.
Jamie Chappelle says
file.
this is the Italian national anthem.
I mean,
That's crazy.
Langley M. Neely says it's from an Italian opera, I believe. Like, yeah.
The file says Spider-Man 2, the game pizza.
Funchuli Funcala.
Did they license it, or is it like
I'm sure it just hit the point it's stock music now, because it's like,
is that classic?
it's that old, yeah.
The day they invented pizza, they made that song.
Yeah, dude.
They're like,
They're
"These
we
songs
need
suck.
to
We need a
describe
song
this in sound.
We need a melody to describe this godly thing that we just created. Call the composers. And let me see if we have any other super chats. Norman writes in and says, watching from my gate at SFO, waiting to head back to Boston. Had a great time in SF, and I see why y'all love it. P.S. Fuck Ubisoft.
Hell yeah. Have a safe flight. Happy to hear you had a good time.
Carlos Ponce says, birthday tax. I'm old, but not as old as Nick or Greg, and that makes me feel better.
Happy birthday and congratulations.
3KO says, birthday tax. Happy birthday. Hearing Bless use all new words is the best gift of all. That might be the only time you hear me say the P word. Unless y'all write in more super chats with more P words. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? There's only one way to make me say it. And then I believe we read this one from Zilla. Happy birthday, Zilla. Let's move on to story number 3. Bethesda announces Fallout Day broadcast for October 23rd. This is from Wesley Yin-Poole at IGN. This was Wii News yesterday. But as I was putting together news for today, I was like, oh, you know what? There might be some fun conversation here. We didn't talk about it really.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's get into it. Super chat question for you. What are your predictions for this Bethesda stream? Let us know. And also, keyword, you know. Bethesda has announced a showcase for its annual Fallout Day on October 23rd. October 23rd, 2077 is, of course, the day in the Fallout timeline that bombs fell, sparking the Great War that caused the irradiated wasteland fans of the franchise have been playing it over the last few decades. The Fallout Day broadcast will stream live on October 23rd at 10 a.m. Pacific time, with the Fallout for Hope post-show following immediately after. In a statement, Bethesda said fans can expect the latest news about our existing Fallout games, community celebrations, and upcoming fan events. There's no specific mention of news about upcoming games, but fans are already wondering what the company might have Fallout related up its sleeve. There are all sorts of rumors floating around about potential Fallout remakes now that the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is out the door. Fallout 3 Remastered was leaked back in 2023, but those plans may have changed. Tim, is the time now?
It's always funny with the like Fallout Day, Last of Us Day, like because it kind of pigeonholes the companies to like have a hype cycle at all times. Kind of funny day comes to mind. And it's good in some ways. It kind of grounds and just gives an opportunity to celebrate. But I think then it also creates, it leaves space for speculation, which is good. But you then kind of need to manage that over time of, is this something worth being hyped about, or are we just celebrating the franchise, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, you got to look about the realities of where the IP is at and what's even actually possible, given the facts we know about what teams are working on and all that. The good news is there's a Fallout TV show that season 2 is coming very soon.
Yep.
We will get a Fallout season 2 something.
Yep.
Right? Awesome. Cool. Maybe a new trailer. Probably a new trailer. Do we have a date for the show? I'm not sure. That sounds
We
like a
have
great
to,
place
right?
to put
It's
one.
December?
Is it?
It's definitely before the end of this year.
If we don't have a date, we'll probably get a date. Probably some people from the show will show up and talk about something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
A
cool.
little scene.
Maybe a little clip
scene,
or two.
Little
you
minute
know,
and a half.
see what
Yep.
happens.
Walton Goggins doing his thing.
But then you look at the game side, and it's like, all right, where there's smokes, everybody. At some point, Fallout 3 remake is going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know what, Bless? I say, why not now?
Oh my God. He had this whole thing, just gave this whole thing about being beholden to a hype cycle and all this stuff just to land at the hype.
No, real talk though. I I'm 50-50 on it. It's like I don't expect it to be there, but I do expect it to be somewhere. I think the game's real, and I think it's going to happen. And I can't believe it hasn't happened yet. And Xbox and Microsoft and all their teams are in such a I don't know the right words to use here because it's not disarray. It's they have too much.
Yeah.
So they're putting out Oblivion remake the same week that Expedition 33 is dropping on Game Pass, and I know they're not both Microsoft Studios games, but they are both speaking to RPG audiences. Maybe not the same RPG audiences, but we're still risking things here.
Yeah,
That ended up
like
working
Game
out
Pass
fine
releases.
for everybody, right? But I was surprised at the cadence of kind of games coming out from Microsoft, whether they're new or remakes or just it seems like they're desperately like trying to create more time and create more like windows and places for things to go. And so because of that, I really kind of feel like they had a bunch of plans, and then because of all the acquisitions, they're now like, oh shit, we have so many more things to place on this puzzle. And I feel like Fallout 3 just got lost in that somewhere. And because of that, for some reason, I think it's going to be closer to the Oblivion remake than not.
Oh man, I hope.
So I think we're close.
I think to your thing about Microsoft, right? And like it just being too much. It reminds me of, I'm on TikTok often, as we all are, because we're all addicted. And I saw a clip of, I believe it was in Germany, of a dude trying to make the world record for most glasses of beer transported like by hand or whatever.
Cool.
Like he's like holding basically like 30
Yeah.
glasses of beer in his arms, and he was trying to like walk across the thing.
Kevin would beat it, but yeah.
And he wasn't like, he took 3 steps in and already glasses are falling and the thing just toppled over. And that's how I feel like Microsoft is with the amount of games and IP and all the shit that they're managing. Where it is, oh, we don't have, okay, just put out Oblivion. Okay, well, Xbox Showcase will announce these games, but we got Fallout 3. What's the status? We ain't got time. We're doing these things. Where do we announce Fallout 3? I don't know. Kevin found it. What? Is this the same one? I don't know if this is the same one, but it looks
this
the
guy
same.
got the stuff, man.
I think this guy actually made it. Wow. Yeah, no, this isn't the same one, but it's the same exact idea. But yeah, we're at the place where I feel like Microsoft, if there's a place to announce a Microsoft thing, like you got to find the place to announce it. You know what I mean? You got to like find the place to put it. And so what makes better sense if you have a Fallout 3 remaster than Fallout Day? The thing was leaked, and so I believe it exists. I think I'm confident it exists, just in the sense of you put out Oblivion remastered. Like the fact that was a thing that was able to make it to the finish line and work well.
Another thing that ethereally rumored forever.
Yes.
And it felt like, all right, like I kind of buy the rumors, but like until it's real, I'm not sure. But now that it's real, I'm like, okay, Fallout's real.
Fallout 3,
it's like,
it's gotta be real.
It really feels that way.
Fallout 3 feels like such the easiest win too, especially given where we're at with Fallout. When's the next Fallout game gonna be?
Yeah.
Especially if Bethesda is the one making it. Like it's gonna be a very long time. You're gonna want to put in some releases between that.
And let's just look at the facts here. I think it's a lot safer to put out a remake of a beloved iteration installment in a franchise when there's more eyes on it than not. And like they're making new games. It's not like there's like, oh man, we're only doing the old ideas over and over. That's true, but we're also doing a bunch of other things too. And this year we've had some of the best remakes we've ever had in video games. And people loved Oblivion. It did great.
It did wonderful.
It served all the audience critically and for their expectations in terms of, I want to buy that game or I want to play it on Game Pass. They have the option. And because of that, I do think that the amount of interest in playing Fallout games, either for the first time or coming back to after watching the Amazon show, that's going to happen even more with season 2.
Yep.
Because the same thing that I just said about the video games, where the show got people into the games, season 1 was so good of Fallout that the word of mouth and the Emmy nominations and all of that stuff, now when season 2 drops, even more people that didn't watch season 1 are going to be like, I need to catch up because I need to watch this thing.
Yep.
And then they're going to want to play the game.
And that was one of the biggest talking points we had around the show is there's not really a ideal jumping in point for Fallout if you're coming in as a brand new fan. Like, sure, the most audience beloved one is probably New Vegas. New Vegas is an old game. Fallout 3, I think, was so many people's jumping in point, right? Probably most people's jumping in point if I had a
Probably,
guess.
yeah.
Also, old game. Old games feel old to play. Like for me, as somebody who loved Fallout 3, I tried to go back to New Vegas for like a third or fourth time after watching the show, and I was kind of like, man, I enjoy this, but also it just feels old. I wish there was a new modern version, which I think we're probably gonna get at some point. Fallout 4 is like a jumping in point, great game, but also like, it's tough to figure out what's the right Fallout to play. If you remake Fallout 3 immediately, that's the right Fallout to play.
Yeah.
And so don't fuck it up this time. Give people that right jumping in point for Fallout as Season 2 is coming out. And then when Season 3 comes out, have a New Vegas remake ready for us so I can actually finally finish New Vegas because I want to finish that game.
I mean, real talk, I think that's going to happen.
I really hope so.
Like that, that feels right.
You know what? I was going to take a look at Super Chats, but I really want to talk about this next news story. Story number 4. Fortnite's Halloween plans get off to a messy start following social media snafu involving Doja Cat in a sex toy.
Headline of the year goes to...
It's such a good headline. This is from Tom Phillips at IGN. Fortnite has assembled its largest ever cast of Halloween crossovers in time for the game's latest Fortnitemares celebrations, including Wednesday Addams, though the event's announcement got off to a messy start last night due to a social media snafu involving rap star Doja Cat and mention of a sex toy. I'm going to pause there. I don't know if I'll call Doja Cat a rap star. That's a pop star. I mean, she raps, but she's more of a pop star than a rap star. I digress. This year's spooky shenanigans are partly centered on musician and self-proclaimed Fortnite fan Doja Cat, who recently popped up on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon to officially reveal her in-game alter ego, Mother of Thorns, and is a boss character during the event. Last night, Fortnite hosted a brief Doja Cat takeover of its X account in advance of the above trailer being released. However, the idea quickly turned messy when Doja Cat, via Fortnite's account, seemingly posted a reference to Rose Toys, a vibrating adult toy. Tim, are you familiar with the Rose Toys?
Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with Rose Toys.
You're not familiar with Rose Toys?
Mm-mm.
This guy doesn't know ball. Back on Doja Cat's actual X account, the rapper broke the fourth wall and stated that Fortnite's posts were all pre-planned and that she told Epic Games not to make the sex toys reference. Quote, "Shit cringe as fuck, now I'm embarrassed," Doja Cat wrote, followed by a wilted rose emoji. Fortnite then deleted the post referencing Rose Toys shortly after. Doja Cat then deleted all of her messages referring to the incident. Yeah, that's a Rose Toy. So yeah, you put that on,
Wirecutter says we tested a Rose Toy vibrator. It's good.
Oh, let me tell you, because first of all, we're years late to the Rose Toy conversation.
Yeah,
this blew up years ago
Okay.
as far as like a new innovation in technology that people were raving about. I couldn't get it off my timeline. As far as people being like, "Yo, this is something that's changed in the game right now."
Yeah.
So
yeah.
might want to look into that.
I'm old school. I'm more about the magic wand.
There you go. Some onlookers have suggested, it takes up less space. Some onlookers have suggested the whole incident was planned, including Doja Cat's typically messy fourth wall break, but that theory would seem to rely on Fortnite itself being comfortable posting about an adult toy on its social media account, which is followed by millions of young fans, which seems unlikely. How did we get here, Tim?
I don't know, man. This is so fucking stupid. Censorship like this is just so stupid. Like this entire conversation, just having to care about violence and sex and the difference between all of it. It's like,
wait, hold on. It's violence and sex?
I don't know, man.
Well, Fortnite's a kid's game, so I feel like that's kind of where the line is, right?
Yeah, sure, but then I don't know. It's just like the swastika dance, right? They took that out, but it was there for a second.
But
if you just put every single thing in, something you just got let slide. Not the swastika thing,
But the Rose Toy?
Yeah, dude.
No.
What's wrong with the Rose Toy?
It's a kid's game. There's nothing wrong with the Rose Toy, but I think mentioning it on the kids game, like if the fucking, I don't know,
all right, slow down. It's not a kid's game. Kids play it, all right? Calm down.
Okay, but what percentage of the audience for Fortnite is kids?
Hold on, let's
like 90%.
You can say that to a lot of things.
And what's wrong with the vibrator, though?
Most of your audience is sub 14 years old,
so they can't know about vibrators.
He's not
no,
saying
they can't.
Folks,
well, they can, but
facts.
I don't want Fortnite to teach them about vibrators.
Why?
Because it's Fortnite. They're supposed to be in there.
There's nothing wrong with sex.
Yeah, but at a certain age, you should be protected. Like if I'm a parent, which I'm not, you're actually going to be a parent. But if I'm a parent and I tell my kid, "Oh yeah, here you can be on the game for an hour tonight. I don't want to go upstairs, come back downstairs, and then being like, Mom, what's a rose toy?
But you're cool with them shooting other people?
But you know, the
literally shooting. That's the point of the game.
But it's like
a kid's thing, but you're shooting
It's
people.
not bloody.
But you can't get your fucking vibe on?
It's not bloody. And also, like, here's the thing. We've already, like, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle as far as guns and how prevalent they are. Not in America, because that's a whole different conversation. But in media, the kids are gonna see guns. I was playing Call of Duty.
So you wanna put the genie back in the bottle for vibrators?
I want to try.
Why?
Not for kids, because I don't. Why? Okay, first of all, why am I under attack here?
Like, what's the problem with a vibrator?
Because these are kids.
What's the problem there, though?
I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's sexually explicit. I feel like that's if I'm a parent and I have a 13-year-old or younger, I don't want them seeing sex like readily like that.
But you're okay seeing them shoot people readily
in Fortnite, sure.
To me, that logic
I'm aware,
does not line up.
And I mean, you're right. Like that part, you're 1,000% right. But also, you know, I was playing GTA San Andreas. Here's my thing. I also can't talk. I was playing GTA San Andreas at 9 years old. I was seeing people bang. Like I was seeing crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's so like,
but the
kids are gonna see it.
A vibrator's not sexually explicit. A vibrator, like sorry, explicit. First off, it's not. Second off, there's nothing wrong with it. Third off, it's not like this is like promoting some type of problematic sexual deviancy. Well, it's nowhere close to this.
What if it's a dildo? What if they just tweeted out big old dildo?
I mean, what's wrong with the dildo?
No, I mean nothing's wrong with the dildo. I just think it's the audience that you have
that's shooting people.
You're right.
I'm never gonna stop going back to that point.
You're absolutely right about that part. But we've already gotten here though. I feel like we just got to do what we can to protect the kids.
I don't know, man. Real talk. Like, no, I'm not joking at all. There's nothing wrong with a vibrator. Like, and there's nothing wrong with kids knowing that vibrators exist. There's nothing wrong with kids knowing that sex exists. They should know. They should be aware of the reality. They should not be hidden from this and it turned into some weird problem because then, and this is where it's like, I don't want to turn this into too crazy of a conversation.
Yeah.
But it's like all the shit of like people getting mad about women kissing on Netflix kids shows. It's like,
but I think that's different. That's romance. Like, I feel like there's a line between sex and like access to sex and like what level of sex do we let kids have access to, which like I feel like we had to be more protective than not that they're not going to find porn or find these things, but
a vibrator it's with themselves.
Yeah, but
you can use it with others.
Yeah, but I think this is where we get into ratings, right? And ESRB ratings and stuff, right? Of like
in games you can shoot people. In
games, which again I agree with you about.
Yeah,
but also I agree with you on that, actually. I think you're 100% right about that. But as a society, we've kind of given up on that.
But well, we should fight back against society.
Well, like, kids are going to play shooting games.
Kids should know about vibrators.
30%, bless.
Oh, of the audience?
Yeah. Is under 18 years old.
You know, that's less than I would have thought. I would have thought there was a way more of a kid audience playing Fortnite.
A lot of adults killing me is all I'm saying. A lot of adults killing me.
I will say, I am saying this as somebody who does not have kids, who, like, you know, I'm sure if I had kids, maybe that changes my thought process about this whole thing. I just think it's interesting that they tweeted out Rose toys, or tweeted about Rose toys. I was more curious about the Doja Cat part of this, of like her saying that she told Epic not to do this. So I wonder if this is a thing where Doja, like, maybe they had loaded up a bunch of posts and like they had threw that one out there, but Doja was like, yeah, but don't tweet that out. And somebody didn't get the message and they just tweeted everything. I honestly don't even know. I don't know what the process for this looks like.
Yeah.
Does Doja even know about like half this shit?
I don't know. I also will say that I am a casual fan of Miss Cat.
I love Doja Cat.
Yeah.
Or music, at least.
But she scares me.
Yes.
Like whenever I see her speaking in interviews or saying anything, I'm just like, you are a loose cannon in a way. Like I don't understand the vibe. I don't understand the bit. I don't understand where it starts and ends. You know? So because of that, I'm just like, I'm not saying I'm on her side or not on her side with this. All I'm saying is that like vibrators are not a big deal.
Fair enough. Tim, vibrators aren't a big deal.
They're not.
But if I wanted some small deals, the smallest deals I needed to know about, where would I go?
You go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items that you need to know about.
Story number 5 is Wii News. Skate Story is launching December 8th on PC, PS5, and Switch 2.
Finally.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Speaking of indies, like long-awaited indies coming out.
I hope this doesn't mean it gets lost in the shuffle. Kevin, you played this real late.
I didn't realize.
We're talking about.
No one called it out.
We both look up and it's Wednesday Adams and Fortnite.
Nobody called it out, and I think this is worth watching. So it's here now.
I guess the other thing, not to get back into the Fortnite conversation, you know, in the same way that we're talking about what's appropriate for what ages, and like Fortnite kind of being this thing where it's like, I don't even know what the age rating for Fortnite is. Doja Cat is somebody who, you know, her subject matter leans toward adult. Like she is.
It leans explicit.
It leans super explicit. So honestly, throw everything I'm saying out the window because Fortnite doesn't give a fuck. You got Doja Cat hanging out with Scooby-Doo in the
and
fucking
Jason
video.
Voorhees. What is he? In one word.
He's a killer, a murderer, a hacker, a slasher. Can't wait for Skate Story. Absolum review roundup for you. On Metacritic is sitting at an 86. On OpenCritic is sitting at an 87. On IGN, they gave it a 7 out of 10 and says Absolum is an excellent beat 'em up let down by a roguelite structure that doesn't serve it. And GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10 and says infusing a classic beat 'em up structure with a modern roguelike loop is a match made in heaven. I saw a few reviews echoing the IGN thing saying that the beat 'em up part is fantastic, but then they didn't really like the roguelite part as much, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Me and Andy are going to play it later today, so we'll decide for ourselves how we feel about the game. 3 new SNES games were added to Nintendo Online. You're getting Bubsy and Claw's Encounter of the Third Kind, Fatal Fury Special, and Mario and Wario. I don't think I knew any of these games existed in these forms.
Well, Fatal Fury Special I knew about. Bubsy and Claw's Encounters of the Third Kind, didn't know, but I feel like me and you need to stream it. And Mario and Wario, I played it at Toys R Us once.
What's the deal with Mario and Wario?
There was a Yoshi game just called Yoshi on the NES.
I remember that one.
And there was Wario Woods. If I remember correctly, Mario and Wario was similar in vein to that, where it was like a single screen puzzle game.
Oh, okay, one of them ones.
Yeah.
Cool. Fields of Mystria's latest roadmap is here for update 4, the Mines update. That's going to be arriving in early 2026, featuring the conclusion of the Mines storyline in a secret bachelorette, plus a glimpse at what's planned for 1.0. They posted here on either Blue Sky or Twitter. I forget which. This is Twitter. The whole picture, which if you're a video viewer, very overwhelming. But there you go. Go to their Twitter if you want to read all the details about what's coming in Fields of Mystria. Indica launches November 17th on Switch, and then Keeper by Double Fine has gone gold. Oh, also we have one more news for you. Sega files a new trademark for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Is Roger right? Is the year of Shadow continuing? Will we never be out of the shadow of greatness?
I hope he's right.
I
don't believe in it, but I hope he's right.
Yeah. Him being right, being a remake of Shadow the Hedgehog?
No, I want a new. If we're gonna bring back Shadow the Hedgehog, I want to bring new Shadow. If you're gonna remake something, there's so many other Sonic games to remake.
Yeah, it is interesting. This does seem a little bit old, but also it seems like it's not about a movie. It is about a game. So
interesting. It's gonna be. You remember the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, the video game? It's gonna be one of them ones. It's gonna be a Shadow visual novel or some shit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Which I'm down for.
Dating sim.
And that is it for Wii News. Let's hop in to the super chats, see what y'all is talking about here. Tim Jin says, hell yeah, Bless, gotta draw the line somewhere. Cozy Bear says, Mario and Wario is actually an early Game Freak game. Oh, that's cool. Interesting here. Mando Delgado writes in and says, as an age ratings producer, this deals with the current rating of the game, which is T and ESRB descriptors, which doesn't not denote any forms of sexual references. This could cause a whole resubmission of the game's rating. The Portland Kevin says, there's a whole debate in Super Chats, by the way. Portland Kevin says, gotta side with Tim on this. It's much healthier to be sex positive than to promote violence in any way. Big problem with society in the US. I want to make it clear that that's not where my line's at. I'm not saying that violence is good and that sex is bad. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, I guess my thing is I'm just very sex positive, and I'm surprised that there's debate about it at this point with where we're at.
Hold on, you saying you're very sex positive makes me feel like I'm being sex negative.
I mean,
I'm very sex positive.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to keep those.
I'm not
toys
saying
away
you're
from
not.
kids.
Oh, I'm sorry that I'm worried about kids getting access to vibrators.
But it's also so funny because like there's no vibrator in the game. Their Twitter put out something that seems like wasn't approved by Doja Cat, right?
Yeah. Zeke Speak says, "Love you, blessed, but I'm with Tim." A reference to a Rose toy on social media ain't explicit. Fair enough. Nathan Haynes says, "Get your vibe on in this context will go down as a great moment, just like Tim PP do work. Also, second birthday tax for my homie Mike. He's an old fart now."
Hell yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Mike.
birthday, Mike.
She says, "Glad this is the topic for my first time live." I didn't expect us to go that deep on that topic.
Hey, we had to. Somebody had to.
Norman says Tim is right, but America isn't ready to accept it. Ghostbusters 2099 says it's called being sex positive. Blessing. I hate y'all. Because it's, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. Because when I say anything sex positive, all of a sudden Greg Miller's over here calling me a pervert.
No, you go too far.
When do I go too far?
You and your animes, it's just too far.
Nope.
It's just, you don't talk about that on air.
That is a
suddenly.
pineapples or whatever the safe word is. I do not like the fucking anime shit.
Now you're anime negative?
John Van Pelt says, "How did we get here?" Well, blessing, it all started with a gorilla. I don't know what that means. Are you talking about evolution?
I think he is. What a journey.
Wait, just to be clear, we did not come from gorillas.
I mean, not according to John Van Pelt.
I mean, but he's wrong.
Unless he's saying something else, which I'm not realizing. I don't know.
Gorillas are like cousins.
Okay, and then we have one more from Guitar Hero Arrow who says, "As a society, this is the exact time we should emphasize the fact that the Confederacy and KKK were evil monsters, not shying away from offending MAGAs." Which I'm not laughing at the super chat. I'm laughing at
going back to the context of this whole thing. You're right. You're right.
This is an insane episode, guys.
Yeah.
We covered it all in this episode.
Also, I don't know the context of this at fucking all. So I almost probably shouldn't even say it live on camera, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
I've had multiple people hit me up today saying that Gary would have called me MAGA.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah. I did see this.
So remember the video that he had inserted in the Kind of Funny 2000 clip where it went through all the hosts having a message for us?
Yeah.
It turns out that was they edited his part, and then he separately was like, "Fuck this! If you're gonna edit it, I'll release the original video." And in the original video, he says one of us is MAGA, and then has a half a second clip image of you pop up, and then just
that piece of shit. That motherfucker. This motherfucker's out here using AI left, right, front, and center, and it's like, oh, okay. Throwing stones. I see you, Witta. I see you.
If there's anything I know about the MAGA crew is that they're sex negative. So what does that say, Tim? What does that say? I'm just saying.
I got lost with that statement.
I think he means that Tim can't be MAGA because he's so sex positive.
That's what. Yeah.
Well, no,
unlike
what I heard.
Blessing.
I'm saying if Gary.
Oh my God, is Bless MAGA?
If Gary knows something that we don't, you know what I mean? Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's hop into kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. You write in, let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong, so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube and listening later on podcast services around the globe. Nitro says, "Not a you're wrong, but a pizza bet breakdown. Bless is owed 2 pizzas from Tim and 1 from Greg. Andy is owed 1 from Mike and 1 from Bless. Roger is owed a pizza from Barrett. Lastly, Barrett is owed a pizza from Bless. I don't know if any were cashed in on or not."
We need to follow this up. We need deets.
I need a chart.
We need, yeah.
I'm gonna need some kind of Google sheet to really break this down. Gary the Third says Minecraft Movie 2 release date confirmed for July 23rd, 2027.
Okay.
Kebab says, forgot to detail, the song's lyrics are about a young man comparing his sweetheart to a nearby volcano, and he invites her to climb it.
I love that. That's how I feel when I eat pizza.
I love pizza. And then Oh, I see. And the kebabs links the pizza song, which is called Funicula. It's a song composed by Luigi Denza in 1880.
Fuck yeah, man.
It is often sung. All right, there we go. There we go. And that is it for kindafunny.com/you're wrong. And Tim, that is it for a very interesting episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily. Remember, each and every week they run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kinda Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. Enjoy the Gamescast next and everything after. But until next time, Game Daily.